With this vehicle, the air blowing out right now is just regular room temperature, warm. It's not even cold. I set the temperature to the coldest, turn on the AC. Even if I turn the fan up, nothing. So I'll need to recharge the refrigerant. This is quite common for cars that has over 100,000 miles on it. So with this vehicle, I got 103,067 miles. The first thing is to locate the low side port. So in this vehicle, I have a Lexus ES300. It's that one right there. I'm just going to zoom in, and you can see the letter L on it. A lot of times it's labeled already, and with all these ports, there's not really two ports that have the same size. So if the hose attachment does not fit, don't force it, because they're made to spec. To see which refrigerant your car uses, look under the hood. It will be clearly labeled, as in my vehicle, it says 134A. So the one I got here is AC Pro. You can get any brand you want, essentially. And you see right here, right in the middle, the additives, the refrigerant, 134A additives. The reason I got this one is because it has a longer hose. There's ones out there is a little bit cheaper, but after I'm done with this canister, I can always just take this dispenser off and reuse it later on. It's just buy another canister. You can essentially get anything you want, but I will recommend spending the extra money and getting the hose, because that's the only thing you'll be reusing. Before I start taking any readings, I gotta first make a note of what the ambient temperature is outside. So right now it's summertime, and the temperature is about 80 to 85 degrees. So I set this little dial, this V dial, between 80 and 85. And then later, when I measure the PSI of these, of what I have in the car currently, I gotta make sure that the needle does not exceed the V. If it does, it means the pressure is too high and I cannot add any more refrigerant. To take an accurate reading, I gotta make sure the engine's turned on, the AC is on full blast. That way it'll invoke the compressor, and that'll give me a better reading on this gauge. So here's the gauge and the hose, and here's the canister. It's not punctured yet. The reason it's not punctured is because when you actually screw this down completely, you see there's a little needle in there, and that's going to puncture the canister. I want to puncture this canister. Hear that hissing noise? And screw it on tightly. Make sure I'm not leaking any refrigerant. To remove the cap of the low end port, simply just unscrew it. And make sure you hold on to the cap tightly so it doesn't fall down into the crevices. To attach the hose to the low end port, essentially the model I have here, I just push it down to fully engage it. And I'll hear a click. Hear that click? And to bring it back up, I just pull this knob right upward and it'll release it. The car's turned on, AC's on max. Now it's time to measure the PSI on this unit. And nothing. So to begin recharging this, compressor's on, everything is turned on. I just need to start squeezing this and agitating this canister from 12 o'clock to 3 o'clock. And you can see why I opted for the longer hose. Periodically, I'll let go of the trigger and see how much I've added so far. I wanted to at least reach to the green zone. So while I'm agitating it, the trigger's held, and every now and then I'll stop just so I can get a reading of how much I've added. I reached the green bar now, but I'm still going to add some more until it gets more, I think more towards 35 to between 45 psi. If you're doing this in the winter, you might want to wear gloves, because as you're agitating it, the refrigerant inside is definitely cooling the canister. So for me right now, it's summertime, so I can put up with the cold, but in the wintertime, you might want to wear gloves. The canister gets pretty darn cold. I can feel the weight of the canister decreasing significantly, and you can see, or you can probably see some moisture building up on the canister right here. Just about there. And it's very important to not overcharge. If you overcharge, that's a whole other video I'll need to make on how to release the refrigerant. All right, I feel the canister is all empty now. My recharge is almost 45 psi, which is good enough. And I'm just about all done. I'm just gonna unplug it and then go back into this car and check the temperature. I can feel the cool breeze. Before it was just ambient temperature blowing out the vents. Now it's actually much cooler. The cap has been reattached to low end port. Everything's snug, secure. And I hope you found this video useful. This was how to recharge your car's refrigerant. And with this vehicle, this one is the Lexus ES300. The model refrigerant I purchased was the AC Pro. Since my car was completely empty, I had to fill the whole canister, 20 ounces. And I think this is a job that anyone can do themselves. There's no need to pay $80 for a professional to do it. You can buy one of these at your local parts store, Walmart even. Well, thanks for watching Awkward Hamster. Please feel free to rate, comment, and subscribe.